Okay. Trying this a final time. If it doesn't work, if it keeps being unstable, I will call it quits. I'm not in the mood for more bullshit. Damn, I'm okay. For some reason, I'm not seeing the. So the chat. What? Now. Hey Milan, hey Vivek. Yeah, internet keeps dying. So how are you both doing? Oh, God, really need to get that provider change going at some point. It's getting ridiculous. Yeah, hope you're both doing well though. This just sucks. Just like at the very end of a long chain of things that just suck. Oh, so she says, wow. The real classic headshot person. Damn. My bro had lock on, he shot perfectly, not all had. I mean, some are, but yeah, there is definitely one of those you can see when someone cheats. My bro didn't, he shot. Oh my god! That definitely is like, embarrassing. Yeah. Then again, cheaters are just like such a fascinating thing because they just keep doing this? Like, it's so funny when people tell me, oh, you know, we don't need that strong anti-cheat in video games and all that, and I'm like, have you seen people in like old Call of Duty games on consoles? They hack dead games. These people don't care. But yeah, lol. Otherwise, oh, where was I before? Oh yeah, we might see the first instance of the air bubble bursting, which is very nice. Yeah, so remember there's a video generating app called Zora AI from yeah, so they're taking the app offline mainly because, you know, it costs too much and litigation issues, and it's like, yep, probably obviously one of the most expensive parts gets gutted first. But yeah, that's as I said before, the internet crashed all the time. I'm not surprised because, like, basically the whole reaction to all of it was astroturfed. Like, there was so much just spam of that, like, especially with YouTube short ranking lists and like TikTok ranking lists, and it's like, we know that's fake. We know that's from the company. We know they're desperate to appear as if they're popular. As if there's a culture yeah, I know with the anti-cheat, it's just a stupid arm raid. The thing is, the thing is, if you don't make it harder, you will have cheaters everywhere, though. Like, that's a thing. Like, games without good anti-cheat are like, they're getting hacked a lot. Like, have you seen Counter-Strike recently? That one's good. That one's bad. Like, the funniest bit that happened from Counter-Strike 2 recently was that Valve anti-cheat actually malfunctioned and just started banning people. So cheaters actually thought, yeah, but the thing is just the amount. Like, not, you know, in Counter-Strike, it's like nearly every lobby someone will hack and cheat. Meanwhile, in like something like Battlefield or Call of Duty, there are less. Again, they still exist, but it's also just the severity of how many people you will meet. But yeah, Counter-Strike is really fucking bad right now. And then there's the funny part of, as I said, they went, basically, Valve anti-cheat malfunctioned. Which is like, okay. So it's not just randomly banning people. Which sounds funny. But what basically happened is that, because it was, quote-unquote malfunctioning, like all the hackers basically thought, wait, is this working suddenly? And so, I don't know how to put it in the best way. Like, the cheaters stopped playing for like a few, 1 or 2 days. So suddenly you had like 48 hours where there was no hacking. And it was playable, and it was fun, and all of that. And then, you know, people realize, oh wait, it's just malfunctioning. Broken clock is right twice a day. Yeah, it's just like, the thing is, the cheaters were like so known how to avoid everything that when they started suddenly just banning people, they were like, shit, is it working now? I get what you mean, but also decentralized servers have their own massive problems. Like, let's not forget how many badmans were there. Like, how many servers just then also had people they preferred treatment. The oh, you shoot the server owner, you just get insta banned. Holy shit, did that happen a lot? Like, I will say though, personally, as someone who actually played a lot on those old servers, I don't miss them fully. There's a... I get that there could be great stuff in them, but oh, there was just so much rancid shit. But yeah. But still, yeah, seems like the Gen AI bubble might be bursting because... Oh yeah, I mean, I was literally also server admin for a good time on a few games, so... Oh god, that was not a fun job. Yeah, but I mean, just like, you know, the fact that Zora AI is now just dead, basically, just like, Right, oh. But that's illegal. I mean, the thing about hacking is, to a degree, basically it gets fueled by two things. First of all, it's just like just straight up pettiness. Like, people just like, some people genuinely just like being the boot, so when they feel like disenfranchised in life, when they do something like hacking, it's just like, hey, I can ruin things for other people and feel strong due to that. But also there is this other point of, well, anxiety. Like, that is another big thing that plays into both factors. But fundamentally, people are anxious about losing in video games. Like, that is, by the way, why there is, like, if you look at a lot of recent games, a lot of things that will be proposed as, for example, oh, we're making the game more accessible, is just, they get made easier. Like, piss easy in comparison to previous games to a degree. Or, you know, where in older games, a game said, game over, you failed, restart. Nowadays, there's a lot of ways that it's more shifted to, oh, you have a resource loss, so basically your progress gets dragged out. This is obviously just there so people don't see you failed screen, even though they technically failed. So a game that could have been way faster and snappy and easier if you just reloaded things, like before, is now pretty drawn out, actually. And that can be annoying, let's just say the very least. But yeah, again, there is a general anxiety about losing in video games. That is, by the way, also why a lot of people do not touch, again, hard games or multiplayer games, because, again, there is this thing of, oh, but what if I lose? There's a certain idea of self-worth tied to that, and it's not good. Like, holy shit, you don't need to tie your self-worth to losing in a video game. It sounds simple to say now, you know, like, obviously, don't do that, but also, you'd be surprised how many people do it, because well, but yeah, that's just some psychological theory. Literally is not playing a set. Yeah, but okay. And here's the next thing that kind of intermingles with that. And there is this general idea that everyone should be able to finish every game. Or, you know, more like is entitled to finish every game. Which is, I think this is probably one of the biggest things we need to get out of the design mind, because I'm sorry. Whoa. Like, you can finish every game if you try, but like, if the game is just a little bit harder to do, you know? Yeah, sorry, then you just don't finish a game. It's similar to like, oh, but you know, I mean, this is the same logic as if you would say to people making a horror game, well, I can't finish the game because it's too spooky for me. And I'm like, to a degree, then don't play horror. But again, some people just come and are like, so hi bot, there is a mod here, we need to get rid of a bot infection. But yeah, there is a certain, like, it would sound weird if you say it like that, right? But like, and then it's a weird thing that they always attach it to, like, games like Dark Souls. Oh, God. You know what? I really, really need to fucking stream Dark Souls at some point, probably. Because, yeah, I'm playing through Nioh. I played through Nioh 1, I played through Nioh 2, I will get back to Nioh 3 the moment it actually has a bit of performance updates. Don't worry. Just Poke the bot. Yeah, poke the bot. Poke it away. Violently. It's just the fact that at some point, you know, I do need to probably just put up you know, Dark Souls 1 and just have a stream where I just show how much you can break this fucking game. Like, even if you just don't give a shit. I mean, I have a clip, by the way, and that's actually on this channel. Like, I can post it later on Discord, but like, people are like, oh, the bell gargoyles are hard. I killed them in under 10 seconds. The first time I played the goddamn game. Because it's not that hard. Because RPGs are games that... Because RPGs are games that sometimes have options. Yeah, the cultural got around it. Yeah, RPGs are just like games where you have sometimes a few things that are just really fucking good. But also, it's kind of obvious that a lot of people, better video games, Souls games aren't like hard. The culture around them just got weird. Oh yeah, and then people are like, oh, but you know, hardness is dependent on the people. No. Here's the thing. This is very much a pretty ignorant statement to make, that you say, oh, if a game is hard, depends on the person, because to a degree that's true. I will say 90% of people that play video games are able-bodied people. No problems. You can just fucking learn. You refuse to. And the thing is, I know people who are disabled. Like, they literally miss hands and arms and they still play video games at high levels. You know, at some point we need to definitely sit down a little bit and be like, some people are just like unwilling to improve. But there is this, again, this whole thing of, oh, I should be allowed to finish a game I bought, and like, no. How much are we reducing video games from art to consumer product? Just so that statement could ring in any form true. You know, so losing is just part of the game. It is, but also like, you don't even lose a lot. Like, you die sometimes, but it's just a like here's the thing, okay? If you play a Dark Souls game, or like any Souls game, okay? This is one of those things where I said the game over state has been removed, and instead it kind of has been transferred into a you need to grind more state. But crucially, and this is actually kind of an interesting thing, Souls games, they're just slightly better masqueraded versions of the Prince of Persia reboot. And I know probably everyone is now like, wait a second, what do you mean with that? Here's the thing. The Prince of Persia reboot, I know, probably everyone is now like, what do you mean with that? First of all, I need to definitely stream the fucking Prince of Persia reboot now that I think about it to make a point. Okay, because the thing is, the Prince of Persia reboot was, back in the day, whacked because it was the next step in the degeneration of video games, because you can't die. Now, okay, here's the thing. The Sands of Time is a great game, and like, honestly, I do want to get through the Sands of Time trilogy at some point, because like, Sands of Time is just one of the best platformers out there. War Within and the Two Thrones are just like peak 2000 edginess, and I dig the aesthetic of the Two Thrones. Like, holy shit, is that thing cool. Anyway, so then they made a reboot. And the reboot is, correct me if you heard this one, there's basically 4 areas roughly 4 bosses. They kind of recycle them a bit, but they always get harder depending on which refight you are on. So like with more movesets and such. But it is a platformer. But the thing is, and yes, it is basically you can die visually. Let me be clear here. Basically, when you miss a jump, okay, the game just basically has a very small cutscene where the partner for the game, by the way, it's kind of cool because, you know, the prince is just some guy traveling through the desert and, like, saves the princess, and then they kind of just have, and eventually, again, anyway, she just saves you, but sets you back to, basically a save point. Now, the thing is, and I will be clear here, yes, you technically do not die, but like that is just visually, functionally you do. The game just resets you to a, you need to do this sequence again. And here's the thing, the longer you get, the deeper you get into the game, the harder those sequences get. Yeah, it's an aesthetic distinction, and people are like, oh, the game is so easy, and like, I wouldn't say Prince of Persia is like, the reboot is like a hard game per se. But let me be clear here, the beginning is easy, but sort of the mid-game, you're like, oh, they want you to master that. They want you to get into the flow of the, and let me tell you, the flow of the game is great. And then you reach the final boss, and you know what the final boss is? Correct me if you heard this before. So the final boss is a very tight combat, very tight combat one-on-one challenge where you need to dodge, counter, and attack at the right moments. But if you do it, he basically wrecks your shit and you get thrown back all the way to the beginning of the fight. So it is like, okay, someone recently posted the whole thing of like every final boss fight is either a final exam or a victory lap, as in like, you know, and he's a final exam, and it's literally you get him down perfectly or you won't finish the game. It is like the game did get tough, but he's still in very interesting difficulty spike at the end. But I was like, yeah, you don't die, but you still have to do the whole fight over again. So
it's weird because in Dark Souls you also don't die.
Yeah, in Dark Souls you also don't die. And then it's like, oh, but you lose your souls. Does that matter in front of a boss? Like, what is the difference between Dark Souls, where you have, you know, where you have bonfires, which are fixed checkpoints that you just manually turn on, versus Prince of Persia, where it just manually turns them on for you. It's basically automatically turns them on and you just don't see them. And you just need to do stretches, sections of gameplay over again after you die. Or, you know, if you're like near a boss, it's basically also just you run to the boss and you fight the boss, and you really do not care about your souls because the boss is usually just there to get the last roadblock out of the way. They usually give you enough souls. It's nice if when you get out of the boss fight with enough souls, that's true. But this is not the point. You can still refarm them. So yeah, what is the distinction here? It is purely aesthetic, and it's kind of ironic because, like, maybe, you know what, maybe I should go back into YouTube video essay thingies and just go and be like, every game nowadays is the Prince of Persia reboot, and you've all are hung up on aesthetic differences. But holy shit, would that piss people off? But seriously, the Prince of Persia reboot, that was like... I liked that game. That was like one of the first, like, the first console I bought myself was an Xbox 360, and it was my first game on the, or the second. I think it was my fourth or so. I really liked playing it, is what I'm gonna say. This is probably one of the few games I really 100%ed, because it just has heart, you know? Like, one of the coolest features they have is, and like, this is one of those things I wish other games would have had, is, so, as I said, you basically are a duo, like, you're the prince, but, you know, there's also, I forgot her name, but basically princess in tow, and you're like, and she's giving you some magical abilities, and you expand, that expand the whole platforming, etc, etc, etc. You know how these games work, okay? But like, the best feature the game had was you could press the left, like, trigger, and they talk. Like, quite literally, they just start talking about, like, things in the area, history of the region, backstory, just so fucking much. Like, there is so much dialogue. Holy shit. And like, let me be clear, there are a lot of games where I would say I do like when the characters talk. Like, there's a lot of, you know, character games nowadays where, like, again, by the way, this whole dual character, two characters together, working together type of game is nowadays just so ambivalent. Again, it's all the fucking Prince of Persia reboot. But like, I mean, hey, I like the new God of War games, like, Kratos and Atreus are wonderful, they're delightful, I absolutely love when they talk, but also, it's not a, you can just press a button and they just start talking. And generally the most time I spent in the Prince of Persia reboot was just standing in an area and listening to them talk. It is kind of funny to have that, again, as a comparison to... It's just, there is just work in that. And like, you know, I went out of that game and I was like, no, I knew those characters. That was good. So yeah, funny game, by the way. I can recommend it. It's one of those, games should have a yap command. Unironically, they should. Like, I know this is one of those, and I know this is probably one of those, how will you finance it? Because you genuinely need, like, fucking money to bankroll it. But, like, imagine a boomer shooter where you could just... A boomer shooter or, like, a Resident Evil 5 type game, and you just have a... You can press a button and characters talk, and you can ignore it, and they don't. It's kind of nice. It's one of those weird features that, you know, if I ever had a game studio, I would definitely try to put into a game, even though I will say probably a lot of people are like, okay, but can we not just do like the minimum amount of voice acting? Like, I get you, but also consider the yap button. Consider it. People could just be yapping all the time. But yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, I was, last time I did, you did ask about pizza varieties, and, I wanted to point a few